First up, let's talk Another Crab's Treasure by Aggro Crab, a 2024 release that's basically a Souls-like with a crustacean twist. You're Krill, a hermit crab who's lost his shell, navigating an ocean polluted with trash to take it back. This game takes the punishing difficulty of Dark Souls and mixes it with a quirky, eco-conscious story that's equal parts hilarious and heartfelt. You're swapping shells, like a soda can or a banana peel, for armor, each with unique stats and abilities. It's wild, creative, and surprisingly deep. The combat is brutal but fair, with tight dodging, parrying, and a satisfying weight to every hit. The underwater world is vibrant, filled with oddball characters like a capitalist whale and trash-talking shrimp, all wrapped in a satire of consumerism that hits harder than you'd expect. It's not just a gimmick, though. The level design is clever, with secrets and shortcuts that reward exploration. Sure, it's got some jank, and the difficulty might turn off casual players, but that's part of its charm. It's a love letter to Souls fans who want something fresh, and it nails that balance of challenge and personality. Released in a busy spring window, it didn't get the spotlight it deserved, but the community that's found it swears by it. Available on all major platforms, Another Crab's Treasure is an underrated gem that'll make you laugh, rage, and maybe even think twice about littering. Dive in! Number 9 is Dungeons of Hinterberg, a 2024 indie from Microbird Games that's like a cozy vacation gone gloriously weird. You're Luisa, a burned-out lawyer who heads to the Austrian Alps for some R&R, only to find magical dungeons packed with monsters and puzzles. This game blends action RPG vibes with a chill, almost Zelda-like exploration feel, all wrapped in a cel-shaded art style that's pure eye candy. You're slashing through enemies with a sword, snowboarding down slopes, and solving environmental puzzles. It's a gameplay loop that's hard to put down. What sets it apart is the vibe. Hinterberg's a tourist town with quirky locals, from grumpy shopkeepers to fellow dungeon-delving adventurers, and the dialogue's sharp and funny. It's got this laid-back charm, but the dungeons ramp up the stakes with creative challenges and boss fights that keep you on your toes. The magic system, tied to elemental powers, adds depth without overwhelming you, and the story about finding yourself amidst chaos is oddly relatable. It's not a massive game, clocking in at 15 to 20 hours, but it's tight and focused with no filler. Launched in July 2024, it got drowned out by bigger releases, which is a shame because it's a breath of fresh air in a sea of gritty epics. Available on PC and Xbox, including Game Pass, Dungeons of Hinterberg is a masterpiece for anyone craving adventure with heart. Trust me, you'll wish you could book a trip there IRL. In number 8, we've got Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, a 2024 Ubisoft release that brings the series back in style. This isn't the 3D Sands of Time reboot you might have expected. It's a 2.5D Metroidvania that's all about precision platforming and slick combat. You play Sargon, a member of the Immortals, on a mission to rescue a kidnapped prince in the cursed Mount Kaf. The time-bending powers and acrobatic moves scream classic Prince of Persia, but the sprawling map and ability unlocks feel fresh and modern. The platforming is unreal, spiked traps, swinging poles, and time reversal mechanics that'll have you sweating through gauntlets. Combat's just as tight, with combos, parries, and Athra surges that feel like a dance. The world's gorgeous, blending Persian mythology with a vibrant, handcrafted look, and the bosses? Absolute showstoppers. Sure, the story's a bit predictable, and some fans griped about it not being 3D, but that misses the point. This is the series evolving, not just cashing in on nostalgia. Released in January 2024, it got solid reviews but didn't dominate the conversation, maybe because Metroidvanias are still niche. Available on all platforms, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is a masterpiece that proves this franchise still has legs, or should I say wall runs? If you love a challenge and a good adventure, you owe it to yourself to play this one. Coming in at number 7 is Thank Goodness You're Here, a 2024 indie from Cole Supper that's basically a playable British comedy sketch. You're a tiny traveling salesman dropped into the chaotic town of Barnsworth, tasked with helping its eccentric residents with increasingly ridiculous problems. This isn't your typical game. There's no combat, no complex mechanics, just pure, unfiltered absurdity. Think Monty Python meets point-and-click adventure, with a dash of Wallace and Gromit charm. The art's this gorgeous, hand-drawn 2D style, bright, exaggerated, and full of personality. You're slapping pies, unclogging pipes with your head, and accidentally causing havoc, all while the townsfolk react with deadpan humor. The writing is razor-sharp, packed with dry wit and visual gags that'll have you laughing out loud. It's short, maybe 2 hours, but every minute's a delight with no filler. The soundtrack's this jazzy, upbeat vibe that perfectly matches the chaos. Released in August 2024, it got rave reviews from critics who love weird games, but it didn't break into the mainstream. Maybe because it's so niche. Available on PC, Switch, and PlayStation, Thank Goodness You're Here is a masterpiece of comedy gaming. If you're tired of serious epics and just want a good time, this one's for you. It's like a warm cup of tea, quirky, comforting, and totally bonkers. At number 6, we've got Paper Trail, a 2024 indie puzzler from Newfangled Games that's as clever as it is beautiful. You play Paige, a student leaving home for university, navigating a world that literally folds around you. The gimmick? Every level is a piece of paper you can bend, flip, and twist to solve puzzles and reveal new paths. It's like origami meets brain-teasing adventure, and it's so satisfying when it clicks. The puzzle starts simple: fold a corner to bridge a gap, but soon you're juggling multiple folds, hidden layers, and environmental clues. It's challenging but never unfair, with a gentle learning curve that respects your intelligence. The art style's this soft, hand-drawn look, all muted colors and cozy vibes, paired with a soothing piano score that makes it feel like a warm hug. The story's light but touching, told through little vignettes about Paige's journey. Think independence, family, and chasing dreams. It's not a long game, maybe 6 to 8 hours, but it's perfectly paced. Launched in May 2024, Paper Trail got some buzz at festivals, but flew under the radar for most players. Maybe because puzzle games don't always get the hype. Available on all platforms, including mobile, it's a masterpiece for anyone who loves a good mental workout wrapped in a gorgeous package. If you're into games that make you feel smart and calm at the same time, don't sleep on this one. Number 5 is the Stanley Parable, and yeah, I know, it's not a 2024 game. Originally released in 2013, with the Ultra Deluxe Edition dropping in 2022, this one's still criminally underrated for how groundbreaking it is. Developed by Galactic Cafe, it's less a game and more a mind-bending experience. You're Stanley, an office drone who one day finds everyone gone. A smug narrator guides you, or tries to, through a story that unravels the second you start disobeying him. The genius is in the choices. Follow the script, and it's a tidy little tale. Wander off, and the narrator gets snarky, the game breaks the fourth wall, and reality itself starts glitching. It's a satire of gaming tropes, linear stories, player agency, even save files, wrapped in dry humor and existential weirdness. The Ultra Deluxe version adds new endings, more commentary, and a bucket, yes, a bucket, keeping it fresh. Visually, it's simple, sterile offices and surreal detours, but that's the point. It's all about the writing and voice acting, which are top tier. Kevin Brighting's narrator is iconic, turning every playthrough into a battle of wills. It's short but replayable to death, with endings that range from hilarious to haunting. Despite its cult status, it never got the mass hype of other indies, maybe because it's so unconventional. Available on PC and consoles, the Stanley Parable is a masterpiece that messes with your head and proves games can be art. If you haven't played it yet, what are you waiting for? Go rebel against the narrator already. Landing at number 4 is Anger Foot, a 2024 indie banger from Free Lives that's like a fever dream of John Wick and Hotline Miami. You're a sneaker-obsessed vigilante in Shit City, kicking down doors, blasting goons, and, yep, using your foot as a weapon. This first-person shooter is all about speed and chaos. You're chaining kicks, slides, and gunshots in neon-drenched levels that pulse to a thumping techno beat. It's raw, ridiculous, and insanely fun. The gameplay's tight. Every kick feels like a thunderclap, and the arsenal's wild, from pistols to plunger guns. Levels are short but replayable, with secrets and challenges that keep you coming back to perfect your run. The art's this grimy comic book style, paired with a soundtrack that'll have you headbanging. It's not just mindless action, though. There's a tongue-in-cheek story about crime lords and cursed shoes that's absurdly charming. Released in July 2024, Anger Foot got some love from speedrunners and indie fans, but didn't break through the mainstream. Maybe because it's so unapologetically weird. Available on PC, it's a masterpiece for anyone who craves fast-paced chaos with a side of humor. If you're into games that don't take themselves too seriously but still demand skill, this one's a must. Strap on those sneakers and start kicking. At number 3, we've got Outcast, A New Beginning, a 2024 open-world gem from Appeal Studios that's a love letter to the 1999 cult classic. You're Cutter Slade, a wisecracking ex-Navy SEAL, back on the alien planet Adelpha to save its enslaved Talon people. This isn't just a sequel, it's a vibrant reimagining. Think Far Cry meets The Fifth Element, with a jetpack that lets you soar across a jaw-dropping world of floating islands and neon jungles. The gameplay's a blast. You're zipping around, combining modular weapons to blast robot invaders, and teaming up with locals to liberate villages. The world feels alive, with dynamic wildlife and side quests that pull you into the Talon's culture. It's not perfect, some missions repeat, and the story leans on cliches, but the exploration and combat are so engaging, you won't care. The visuals pop with color, and the soundtrack by Lenny Moore is epic, giving every moment weight. Launched in March 2024, it got solid reviews but was overshadowed by bigger titles, which is a crime for a game this ambitious. Available on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X/S, Outcast. A New Beginning is a masterpiece that deserves a second look. If you love open-world adventures with heart and a sci-fi twist, this one's calling your name. Time to jetpack into action. Number 2, System Shock, the 2023 remake by Night Dive Studios. You're a nameless hacker aboard Citadel Station in 2072, facing off against Shodan, the creepiest AI ever coded. This first-person action-adventure blends shooting, exploration, and immersive sim vibes, like BioShock meets Dead Space. It's old school but polished to perfection. The gameplay's a masterclass. You're scavenging for weapons, hacking terminals, and piecing together a chilling story through audio logs. The station's maze-like design keeps you on edge, with mutants and robots around every corner. Shodan's taunting voice, God, it's iconic, makes every step feel like a descent into madness. The visuals strike a balance. Retro cyberpunk grit with modern lighting that's hauntingly beautiful. It's tough but fair, rewarding patience and creativity. Released in May 2023, with console versions in 2024, it earned praise but didn't dominate the zeitgeist. Maybe because its slower pace isn't for everyone. Available on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox, System Shock is a masterpiece that proves remakes can outshine the hype. If you're into deep, atmospheric games that respect your intelligence, this is the one to beat. Shodan's waiting, dare to hack in? And finally at number 1 we've got Nine Souls, a 2024 indie gem from Red Candle Games that blends Sekiro-inspired combat with a jaw-dropping Taupunk aesthetic. You play as E, a warrior out for revenge in a world where ancient mysticism meets futuristic tech. This isn't your typical Metroidvania. It's a tight, linear action game with exploration elements that'll keep you hooked. The combat, oh, it's razor-sharp. You're parrying, dodging, and unleashing talisman-powered combos against bosses that'll test your reflexes and patience. Think Sekiro meets Hollow Knight, but with a vibe all its own. Those hand-drawn visuals and haunting soundtracks really set the mood. What makes Nine Souls stand out is its storytelling. It's not just about slashing your way through enemies. It's a journey of loss, redemption, and unraveling a conspiracy in the dystopian land of New Kunlun. The pacing is spot on, with quiet moments of reflection between intense fights. Sure, it's tough. Some of those bosses had me rethinking my life choices, but every victory feels earned. Critics have praised its polish and depth, yet it hasn't gotten the mainstream buzz it deserves, maybe because it launched in a stacked year. If you're into challenging combat, rich lore, and a world that feels alive, Nine Souls is a must-play. Available on PC and consoles, it's a masterpiece that proves indie devs can hang with the big dogs. Give it a chance, you won't regret it. And that's our list, 10 underrated masterpieces you absolutely need to play. From System Shock's cyberpunk chills to Angerfoot's chaotic kicks, these games prove the best experiences don't always make headlines. Which one's going on your playlist first? Drop it in the comments, and let me know what other hidden gems you're loving. If you enjoyed this, hit that like button, subscribe for more gaming deep dives, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching, gamers. See you in the next adventure. And remember, we are Gamespedia EX, your AI favorite video game source. I'll be back.